Well, how's it going, everyone? I just want to take this moment to show you guys my garden real quick, what I got going on, some of the things I got planted this year, and what are my plans for coming up. This here is my tomato bed. I've got some Roma tomatoes, I think there's some Abe Lincoln, and I think there's some cherry tomatoes over here in the back. They're all doing pretty good. I tied them up just recently. You want to tie them up to make sure you get some good airflow in between. And I had some branches that had blight on them, so I went ahead and I pruned those up, picked them off, fertilized them. They're just rocking in the bed. That's the same soil that I had last year. I didn't add anything to it. All I did was I've been fertilizing once a week using the organic fertilizer mix. This here is my spaghetti squash. This is where I planted them in a bag. Got them trellising along the fence here. They're doing pretty good. I already got this little guy here. That one there I don't think is going to make it. It's already starting to turn yellow. Oh, the dogs want to come say hi. How you doing, Sky? There are ladybugs all over. That's good though. They're eating some of the pests. And I do have an issue with pests on the tomatoes. I do have aphids that took over, but I sprayed them with a mixture of baking soda and water. Mix that up and you spray your plants down. That'll get rid of the aphids. It's not immediate, but they ingest it and it takes care of them. They'll start falling off after a few days. That same mixture is also good for, let's go over here where I have my cucumbers. See how the leaves are? They got these spots on them. That's powdery mildew. I didn't catch this in time, but these leaves got covered in it. Sprayed it with a mixture of baking soda, water, and the new leaves seem to be coming out fine. New growth here, don't have anything on them really. I'm going to keep spraying it. Got a little cucumber coming out there already. Here's my zucchini. Got that guy going there. Can get the light just right. Now this leaf is turning yellow. I don't know if you can see that in the light. It's either because it's not getting enough water or it's getting too much. I'm not sure about that. I just set up a new irrigation system, so it might not be hitting it enough, or I might have to change the time on them. We'll see. I'll play with it and see. Over here I've got some more zucchini. And here is some butternut squash. That's got kind of the same problem. Some of the leaves are starting to turn a shade of yellow. That's Waltham butternut squash. If we come back over here, Sky, what are you doing in the garden? To this bed, these plants here are South Anna butternut squash. Now they're a hybrid, but they've been bred to be an heirloom. Let's get the dog out of here real quick. I don't want her getting in any of my beds. Come on, Sky. Out. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. The South Annabelle, or South Ann winter squash. These guys here, they're hybrid between Walton butternut squash and I think it was this. What is that? It's a breed of pumpkin that some guy went ahead and crossbreeded them to get the genetic benefits of the pumpkin. Seminole pumpkin, that's what it is. The Seminole pumpkin and the walnut squash. Seminole pumpkin is more resistant to mildew and different pests and stuff. So they crossed them and then they bred them true to where they're an heirloom. What that means is that if I get seeds off of this and plant them again next year, I'll get the same thing, but that's probably not going to happen this year because I have the Waltham butternut squash right over there going too at the same time. So there's going to be some kind of cross-pollination going on. Here we have a zucchini, another zucchini. This is zucchini, and I believe that guy there is a zucchini. And these two over here are two pumpkins. I don't remember what the name of them are. But stuff in this bed is coming up pretty good. I do have them all on the irrigation system. It goes off in the morning and then in the evening after it cools down, but try to give it enough time so that the water will dry off so we don't get any mildew going on the leaves. See, what do we have here? These are my potatoes. These are just rustic potatoes I bought at Walmart. We had a bag that started sprouting, so I planted them here and they just took off. They are doing phenomenal. And the dogs are at it again, going at it with the neighbor's dog. You can hear them. This here is Brussels sprout. This guy is just rocking it. Look at it. I mean, that is good 2-3 feet high. About 2.5, 3 feet. It's coming up to my knees. Then I've got my jalapenos here. I've already got peppers coming on here. And they're just little buds starting all over. Behind that I have chili peppers over here. I don't know if you can see that. Where those are starting to grow. Those are going to be the red chili peppers, and those are really good. Grind them up, make some chili pepper flakes. Here we have eggplant. It is getting tore up. I have been spraying it with the baking soda and water, but that's not cutting it, so I'm going to have to mix up another mixture. What we can do, what I'm going to try for that is mix vinegar, water, and some dish soap. And that should do the trick, hopefully. But I already do have some blossoms coming here, so hopefully I get some eggplant. And they're not eaten up too badly. See, I have another cucumber plant right there. Let's go over there and take a look at that. This here, this started to get a little bit of powdery mildew, but I've been spraying it and it doesn't look like it's spreading, so I think I caught it. And it's doing good. Now, the last thing here is the onions. Onions, for me, they look like they're doing good, but they're not. See, I started them indoors. I let them grow. They're little spiny things that come up. I trimmed off the top of them to let them put out more roots, put more energy in the root system. And then I transplanted them out here. But after I planted them, they didn't put on a bulb. I don't know if you can see. They just started growing like scallions. And there's no bulb system at all. I'm not quite sure what I did wrong there. If you see here, this guy is a basil. There's another one and another one. I did not plant basil this year. I planted basil last year. And last year it bolted, went to seed, and the seed spread all through this bed. And they just popped up. There's another one there. It's all over. Now these long things here, believe it or not, is actually asparagus. Now, when I planted asparagus, I got the dormant root, and you plant the roots, and you're not supposed to get any fruit. At least that's what the instructions said, that they're not going to start growing until the second year. But I don't know if this is normal, where it popped up a couple of scrawny, skinny asparagus, and then they just came up and grew into this. So I'm hoping that next year I'll get some good asparagus. I have been fertilizing it. Hopefully it's putting out a good root system, and next year I just get a good handful of asparagus out of that. That'd be awesome. What do we have? Oh, I didn't show you my last bed there. Here we have carrots. I don't remember what type I planted, but those are doing good. The ones in the front here seem to be doing really well. They're a good 4 or 5 inches taller than the ones in the back. Not sure what that is. It's probably some kind of nutrients imbalance in the soil. The better quality over here could be because of what I planted last year there. I had cucumbers there, and I think I had Brussels sprout or something, because one of them is popping up again from last year. That's last year's crop. Here is my spinach. It didn't do that well this year. I think I didn't fertilize enough. It looks like it might be lacking some nitrogen or something. The leaves turned yellow. They all bolted. So I'm just going to let that go and count that as a loss now. Here we have the broccoli. These broccolis are awesome. They're a good 2 feet high. The one in the back's probably about 3 feet. The one back there, they're just doing phenomenal. Let's Get a better look here. I do have this one here starting to put out a head. Yep. The other ones have not yet, but they just look awesome and healthy. No issues there. These are my cabbages. They didn't do that good this year. And the reason why is because I had multiple cabbages that grew together, and when I transplanted them, I was being lazy and I didn't want to separate them. So it's putting more stress on these, and it's just making them more resistant to pest and disease. So they're not doing good. That one got chewed up. I've been picking through it and found a couple snails that are on it. Same thing with the ones back here. I mean, they're not really growing much. They do have a little hard of a head, but not expecting much from those. Spinach, same thing here. I really think I just didn't fertilize enough over here. But the broccoli's doing good, so I'll count that as a win. On the trellis behind everything, those are all beans. Over here we have Kentucky Wanderer. There's two different type of beans. Kentucky Wanderer here, and I believe this one is Blue Lake stringless. And I have it growing up on the trellis, and it's continuing up over on the fence here. I should have made this trellis a little bit taller, because this is probably about 5 feet or so, and they're already, I mean, look at this. That could go up with 6 feet easy. So next year I'm going to extend that trellis up more, give them more vertical room to climb, because they are hanging over on this path here. That little bed there, that's just some amaranth I planted. I'm hoping I could get a couple heads of amaranth to feed the chickens this year, help supplement their diet, but don't know how much I'll get off of that though. And what else? Oh, my compost bed. I've got 2 compost beds. This is the active one that I'm turning almost daily, and we're still adding food scraps too. That one I'll turn about once a week. I'm guessing I have another month or so on this one before it's all done. Everything's broken down. This was just all grass clippings and food scraps, and all the food scraps are gone. The grass clips and flaking down. It's doing pretty good. I had too many tomatoes that popped up in the garden, so I had pulled one and I just stuck it in here to see what it would do. And it's, for me not watering it really, just when I water the compost bed, it's actually doing phenomenal. It's green and healthy, so that tells me there's enough nutrients in this compost from everything that broke down. And it does not have all the aphids like the other one did. So that's a good sign. And the last thing is my banana plant. This banana tree I planted, about a month ago. I just planted it because it reminds me of the tropics, reminds me of home. So I wanted a banana tree. It'll help shade over here, and I'll figure out when it grows up. Yeah, that's my whole garden bed. Thanks you guys for watching, and stay tuned. I have another plan for aquaponics system on the other side, and I'll show that build out as I do it. Thanks.